Assalamu alaikum everybody. Let's start the next topic and our topic is DTT, this week. DTT, Anity Teaching and Procedures. Okay, what are we gonna learn in this? Okay, these are the outcomes, learning outcomes of this training. Explain DTT, Anity, use prompting safely, apply errorless teaching, shape new behaviors, use training, design programs. Okay, this is the correct concept map. Okay, first of all, you will have a target skill. Okay, always you have a target के what are we gonna teach a kid ना बच्चे को हम क्या सिखाने वाले हैं and then the next is teaching format you have after the target you have to choose the format that के वो target हम बच्चे को कैसे achieve करवा सकते हैं ठीक है how can we like make it that the child can achieve that task what teaching format will be the most suitable and the next is prompt strategy. You have to choose the prompt strategy that which type of prompt I have to provide, how much prompt I have to provide, like for teaching that target skill. And the next is response and data. You have to like record it properly that what was the response of the kid you have to collect the data for it and then you have to also choose that which reinforcement you are going to use फॉर एग्जाम्पल कि अगर एक बच्चा वो टास्क को बहुत कम परफॉर्म करता है तो आपको लाइक वो अवॉइड करता है उस टास्क को करने में तो यू हैव टू गिव द मोस्ट लाइक द स्ट्रॉन्गेस्ट रेनफोर्सर ताकि वो बच्चा उस टास्क को परफॉर्म कर सके and the next is fading and generalization can the child do it independently you have to also look okay DTT is discrete trial training what it means you have uh, listened this term multiple times because in behavior therapy or in child psychology it's a very common statement okay common word the common you can say where the training type DTT is discrete trial training what does discrete mean discrete it's a discrimination you it means you are going to be very specific that which thing I'm gonna work on, which SD I'm gonna like use, how many trials I'm going to give, all of these things. A structured teaching format where one skill is taught in small measurable trials. Okay, discrete trial it means small measurable trials. There's a proper sequence of DTT. In a DTT, there's like one-on-one session. First of all, you, keep it in mind. Okay? One-on-one session hoga, and then for, like if you have a target and you have already chosen that I will go with a DTT instead of NET or any other thing. For example, in this picture, you can see that I have a target that I am going to teach a kid about the shapes. Okay, so for the shapes, it will, of course, the child will learn and the proper trials. We have to give the trials and then the reinforcement, each and everything. Okay, so it can't happen in the naturalistic intervention or natural environment. We have to create proper scenario here, proper environment here, so that the child can perform very nicely. Okay, so discrete trial training has a proper sequence. First of all, we give the SD. SD is discriminative stimulus or the instruction to the kid, and then we notice what is the response of the child. ठीक है बच्चा क्या रिस्पॉन्स कर रहा है हम उसको देखते हैं एंड देन द कॉन्सिक्वेंस हाउ आर वी गोना परफॉर्म इट लाइक आर वी गोइंग टू reinforce it or not consequence is all based on a therapist or teacher or parents that how are we gonna like react after the child gives the response okay so then there will be a short pause of course for the next trial you will take a pause 1 to 2 seconds then the next trial will be here okay so why use DTT best for clear skills that need repeated practice okay in DTT discrete trial training there will be multiple trials so that the child can learn something. It needs multiple times of practice, such as matching, imitation, receptive labels, or early. Wait a minute. I think something is missed here. Key feature is targets are operationally defined, prompts are planned, and every response is recorded. It means targets are operationally defined. Operationally defined means we already know what is our target. Okay, what does that target mean? What's the master criteria? Each and everything we know it. Okay, and then we know what type of prompt we are gonna provide. Okay, and every response is recorded. In DTT, every response is recorded. Did the child like perform it well or not? How much prompt was given? And the next example is instruction is touch circle. Learner touches correct card. Therapist says great touching circle and gives token. ओके, इट मीन्स कि अगर बच्चा सर्कल को टच करता है, हमारा सर्कल ही टारगेट है, और हम बच्चा सर्कल को टच कर रहा है, तो उसने एक टारगेट अचीव किया है, उसने एक करेक्ट रिस्पॉन्स किया है, जो ट्रायल था हमारा उसमें पॉजिटिव स्कोर आया है, तो हम बच्चों को रेनफोर्स करेंगे. ठीक है. So this is the anatomy. You can look here for the very clear example. These are like 5 parts of the discrete trial training. Look very carefully that what are the parts. First of all, there will be an SD. Of course, you will say something so that child can perform and you can look. And then the prompt. How much help are you going to provide? Then the response. Response will be from the kid. And then the consequences. How are you going to perform? How are you going to react? How are you going to behave after the response? Either it will be correct or incorrect. Either are you going to reinforce or not? And then the inter-trial interval. Inter-trial interval means brief pause before the next trial. Okay. What therapist does as we give one clear instruction, prompt help only as much needed, response allow child to respond, consequence reinforce or correct immediately, inter-trial interval brief pause before next trial. For example, give me ball, gesture toward ball, child hands ball, yes ball, and consequences yes ball plus token. Token are, for example, we are working on the token economy, or it is getting used as a reinforcer. And then the inter-trial interval is 2 to 5 seconds before the next target or the trial. Clinical tip is avoid long explanations during DTT. The child like can't understand your long comprehensive statements. Be very short for this, like your statements or your SDs should be very short. The cleaner the trial, the easier the child understands the demand. Okay. Common mistake repeating the instruction many times before prompting. This can teach the child to wait. Okay. So if you have watched my all previous videos, मैंने बहुत दफा बोला है that don't repeat SD too much. Please give the SD. Wait for 3 or 5 seconds. If the child responds, it's okay. If the child is not responding, give the prompt. Or if the child is not giving you attention, then you can like repeat the SD. And the purpose of the SD was to get the attention of the kid. And better practice is present instruction once, wait briefly, then prompt according to the plan. Okay, the next is natural environment teaching. This is the naturalistic environment. Okay, this is not DTT. DTT was totally different. And NET teaches skills during play, routines, social moments, and real life motivation. Okay, so please focus on this, that this is mostly based on the real life. Okay, the social moments, we have to like use every opportunity we are getting. There we were providing a proper learning environment, and here we have to create a proper so we have to get some opportunity, and we have to use that opportunity and work on the natural environment. Core idea is follow the child's motivation and embed targets naturally. Example, child reaches for bubbles, therapist models bubbles, child attempts bubbles delivered. Okay. For example, this was not the target first of all, but we have seen that the child is asking for the bubbles, and we can use that मोमेंट ओके लाइक बच्चे का दिल कर रहा है अभी बबल का, तो हम कह सकते हैं यार अभी ना उसका दिल कर रहा है, तो शायद वो अभी बोल भी पड़े, एंड वी से ओके इससे बबल्स, अगर आपको बबल्स चाहिए तो आपको पहले बबल्स बोलना पड़ेगा, हम मतलब बच्चों को ऐसे कह रहे हैं इससे बबल्स, एंड द चाइल्ड इज इन मूड, एंड ही और शी really wants that reinforcer, he or she will repeat after it. Okay. Best for communication, requesting social interaction, play, and generalization. Okay, there is a social interaction. For example, I have a kid and she is like zero in social interaction. But what can I do? I am doing that whenever I get an opportunity that there is another student in the next cabin, or the parents are bringing their children, okay, like other children, or she has one sister, if she is coming, or there are like children of the therapist too, if they are coming, I use all the opportunities, all of those, and say okay, for example her name is ABC and I say ABC, okay, handshake karo inse, okay, give touch the nose of that person, or give the huggy, give the kiss, or something like that, the social interaction, or you can play with this, you can share the things with, all of these are the moments we get naturally, these are all the opportunities we get, and we do like work on it. Data cell can record opportunities, prompt level, correct responses, or spontaneous language. NET feels like play, but it is still planned teaching. Okay, it is still planned. It's also in my planning that whenever I get this opportunity, I am gonna work on this skill of the kid. Okay, so these are the areas you can work. Both are useful. The therapist selects based on the learner skills, motivation, and context. Okay, so you have there's a difference between these two things. Setting in DTT and NET. DTT is stable or structured learning area, and in NET, playroom, home, clinic, classroom. Motivation is often contrived reinforcement and natural reinforcement. Skill type is clear, repeated targets, functional social communication skills. Data is trial by trial accuracy. Okay, we are just noticing every trial के बच्चा इस टारगेट इस ट्रायल में क्या कर रहा है, बच्चे ने पहले रिस्पॉन्स किया है कि नहीं किया, दूसरी दफा रिस्पॉन्स किया है कि नहीं, तीसरी दफा किया है कि नहीं, ठीक है. So first, second, third, we are gonna record every trial, and anything we are like focusing on the opportunities, either opportunity provided, did we use it or not. Example is touch circle 10 trials, request bubbles during play, this is the like anything. Okay, this is the prompting hierarchy, क्योंकि आपने देखा है in both NET and DTT there was a term used as prompting, that we have to look very carefully कि हम लोग को कितना prompt देना है, कब देना है, क्यों देना है, all of these are the things, and all depends on the requirements of the kid, of the context, of the target. ठीक है, आपने उस चीज को बहुत ज्यादा देखना है. So the prompting hierarchy is prompting means giving support so the child can respond successfully. Prompting must be faded. Okay, ये हमेशा आपने बात याद रखनी है कि with the passage of time you have to fade the prompt. Otherwise, the child will be totally dependent on the prompt. Okay, prompting hierarchy is full physical, partial physical, modal prompt, gesture prompt, verbal prompt, visual prompt, independent response. Full physical, it means you are gonna like perform the task fully with a kid. And then the partial physical, half help. You can say half help. Or here is an example. No, it's not clearly looking here. But the model prompt, you have to perform it by yourself so that the child can look at you, use you as a model. And then the gesture means something like जैसे कहते हैं ना इशारा कर रहे हो आप, ठीक है, किसी चीज की तरफ, तो that is a gesture prompt. And then the verbal prompt, For example, I'm teaching a kid, what is your name? And here she says, okay, my name is Asma. Okay, and I will teach the kid As, and the child will finish it Ma. And okay, the same thing. This was kind of verbal prompt. And then the visual prompt means we can go for the flashcards. The green sign means yes, the red sign means no. All of these are visual prompts. And then the last is the independent response. This can't be the this is a hierarchy written, but you have to choose according to the need of your kid. Okay. Okay, this is the prompt fading, avoid prompt dependency. Okay, okay, how can you like um work on the prompt fading? A prompt is helpful only when it leads towards independence. Okay. Okay, a prompt is helpful only when it leads towards independence. Mostly, start with strong support and gradually reduce. Useful for new or difficult skills. Mostly, first of all, you will give a lot of support, but with the passage of time, you will reduce it. Gradually, with the passage of time, you're gonna reduce your support. फॉर एग्जाम्पल कि अगर मैं एक बच्चे को पजल करवा रही हूँ, पहले मैं उसको फुल हेल्प से करवा रही हूँ, उसका हाथ पकड़ के ईच एंड एवरी पजल पीस आई एम गोना फिक्स विद हर. But with the passage of time, if I can see the child can do the task by herself, I will say okay, आपकी टर्न, अब आप करोगे उसको. ठीक है, फिर मैं थोड़ा थोड़ा प्रॉम्प्ट फेड करती जाऊंगी उसको. ओके ठीक है, आप करो. उसको मैं थोड़ा सा मौका भी दूंगी कि वो बच्चा उसको परफॉर्म करे. अगर उससे गलती ज्यादा हो रही है देन मैं प्रॉम्प्ट दूंगी. अगर वो बच्चा मुझे लगता है कि वो कर सकता है, थोड़ा सा लाइक एरर है, बट इट्स ओके, मैं कहूंगी इट्स ओके, आप दोबारा अटेम्प्ट करो, दोबारा अटेम्प्ट करो. द चाइल्ड विल लर्न बाय इट. ओके. So least to most, start with the least support and increase if needed. Okay. There are some targets. If I think that the child needs a small support, very like in sometimes it can be started with the least support and it can be moved toward the most support. If I think that no, it can't be like go with the small support. The child needs my more support, so we can go with the most prompt. Time delay is pause before prompting so the child gets a chance to respond independently. Pause before prompting. Okay, the same thing, 3 to 5 second theory. That is, if you are giving up like SD to somebody, if you are going to give the instruction, अगर आप बच्चे को कहते हो okay do this, तो आपने फौरन से उसको नहीं कर देना. Please wait for 3 to 5 seconds so that the child can do it. Or sometimes the thing happens, the child is not in good mood or there are not like good circumstances happening around him or her. And I know कि बच्चे को आता है, the child knows the thing, but he or she is taking the time, so please give her that time. Otherwise, the child will be dependent on you for prompt. Okay. So the next is case example goal. Child touches circle. First session uses model prompt. After 80 correct, shift to gesture prompt. Then 2 second delay. It's a simple means that कि अगर एक पहले सेशन में बच्चे को आप सर्कल करवा रहे हो तो पहले आप मॉडल कर रहे हो, लाइक यू आर आल्सो डूइंग द सेम. एंड in the next it doesn't happen on the very next trial or the very next session. Of course it will take 3 to 4 days, and then the next is you can say you can just provide the gesture, you can just point towards it instead of totally performing being model here. Warning signs: child only responds when therapist points, repeat instructions and gives eye contact. This suggests prompt dependency. अगर आपको ऐसा लगता है कि बच्चा सिर्फ तब ही परफॉर्म करता है जब थेरापिस्ट उसको पॉइंट करता है, या थेरापिस्ट बार बार इंस्ट्रक्शन को रिपीट कर रहा है, या थेरापिस्ट आई कांटेक्ट देता है, तब ही बच्चा रिस्पॉन्ड करता है, तो इट मीन्स कि बच्चा प्रॉम्प्ट डिपेंडेंट है. सो वी हैव टू अवॉइड दैट वन. ओके, एररलेस टीचिंग इट्स वेरी इंटरेस्टिंग. Okay, errorless teaching prevents repeated mistakes by prompting early and fading systematically. Okay, sometimes it happens that the child does perform the task like 5 days, 10 days, but the child continuously performing it wrong. The child is not getting it. Okay, so the thing is we give the prompt in instantaneously. Errorless teaching prevents repeated mistakes by prompting early and fading systematically. Okay, these are the certain situations. Sometimes we don't give the prompt most of the time. Okay, but there are certain situations that we have to give the prompt so that the child can avoid the errorless, errorful learning. Okay, errorless teaching purpose is help the learner contact success, reduce frustration and practice correct responding. ओके, ठीक है, फ्रस्ट्रेशन बच्चे की कम हो सके। अच्छा, समटाइम्स इट हैपन डैड के बच्चा अगर सही से परफॉर्म नहीं कर पा रहा ना, तो उनको बहुत ज्यादा एंग्जाइटी होती है, फ्रस्ट्रेशन होती है, दे स्टार्ट टू थ्रो थिंग्स कि मुझसे क्यों नहीं हो पा रहा ना। ठीक है, स्टेप वन इज यूज अ स्ट्रॉन्ग प्रॉम्प्ट बिफोर द एरर अकर्स। एरर होने से पहले ही आप उसको अच्छा खासा प्रॉम्प्ट दे देते हो। स्टेप टू इज, अच्छा एक ही चीज है कि पिछले वालों में ये था कि बच्चा कुछ परफॉर्म कर ही नहीं रहा, देन लाइक वी आर वेटिंग फॉर द 3 to 5 seconds एंड वी आर सेइंग ओके बच्चा जो है वो कर ले। बट इन दिस कि बच्चा करता फौरन है लेकिन गलत करता है, तो वी हैव टू लुक हियर कि वो जो गलत कर रहे हैं ना वो ना हो। हमें मतलब फौरन से अगर आइडिया हो जाता है कि बच्चे के फिर से लाइक फिंगर है वो, हमने साइकिल मांगा है वो स्केयर की तरफ जा रही है, तो हम फौरन से क्या करेंगे कि लाइक स्केयर को कवर कर देंगे, अपना हाथ स्केयर के ऊपर रख देंगे ताकि बच्चा उस तक पहुंचे ही नहीं। तो ये होगा कि एररलेस होगा, वो फिर स्केयर की तरफ जाएगा नहीं कि ये तो हिडन है। ठीक है, so step 2 is reinforce correct prompt in response. Step 3 is fade the prompt across trials. Okay, like across trials with the passage of time you have to fade it. Okay, so step 4 is probe independent response and record data. Of course you have to force the kid, you have to give the probe that the child should respond independently and then go for recording. Okay, the main theme of this teaching is do not let the child practice the wrong response repeatedly. What does shaping mean? You have maybe listened it multiple times that what does the shaping mean? Shaping means reinforcing small steps that move closer to the final target behavior. It successive approximations towards the target behavior. Okay. So the thing is, the target is the child says water to request water. Okay, first of all, let me tell you in the very layman language that के शेपिंग में क्या है कि हमारा एक बहुत बड़ा टारगेट है और उस टारगेट तक पहुंचने से पहले बच्चा छोटे 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 जो भी स्टेप कर रहा है हम हर स्टेप को रेनफोर्स करेंगे। ठीक है, सो द टारगेट इज चाइल्ड सेज वाटर टू रिक्वेस्ट वाटर। स्टेप वन इज रेनफोर्स लुकिंग एट वाटर बॉटल। फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल, एटलीस्ट child is looking at the water bottle, we are gonna reinforce. Child is like reaching or pointing the water bottle, we are gonna reinforce that. The child says ver sound, we are gonna reinforce that. The child says water, we are gonna reinforce that. And the child says water, clearly he or she says the water, we are gonna reinforce that one. Therapist reminder, raise the expectation slowly. If the child becomes frustrated, return to last successful approximation. Okay, it doesn't mean you have to go, if you have a target, okay, water, or you have a target bubble, the child will say the bubble in the very first attempt. No, sorry, you have wrong expectation. Please be very careful. The childs are like early learners. You have to keep the shaping in the mind कि bubbles, एक बच्चा अगर फौरन से नहीं भी बोल पा रहा, you have to say bubbles में ब, अगर बच्चा ब के भी साउंड निकाले it's like a b, and the child say b, and if the child is okay with the b, and you can reinforce up फौरन से उसको कोई उसका reinforce दो, and the b, and the say, and we say bull, and the child say bull, and we have the b, and the child sound has bull, so bull, and in the with the passage of time the child will learn properly bull. Okay, so the same is the water, the same is the bubble sound. Okay, this one is the chaining. Chaining in behavior therapy is a teaching method used to help a person learn a complex skill by breaking it into small, manageable steps and teaching those steps in a specific order. Let me look. Okay, this comes first and this comes later. Okay, first, let's look at this. What does task analysis mean? Task analysis breaks a big skill into small, teachable steps. In task analysis, you are just breaking it, but in chaining, you are actually performing those small steps or small teachable tasks. Okay, in task analysis, you will have a task, for example, wash hands, um, close the zip of the bag, okay, put on your clothes. All of these are skills. Okay, there's a big skill proper, for example, how to make an egg, how to make a juice. These are all the big skills, and we are gonna break the task in very minimal, in very small steps. We have to like look at the proper sequence, that first is this step, then second is this step, and all of, like, with the passage of time, all the steps will be moved towards the complex one. Okay, so task analysis breaks a big skill into small teachable steps while using many daily living skills are too complex to teach as one instruction. For example, अगर मैं बच्चे को कह रही हूँ ओके जाओ आप ना अम, इस तरह करो, क्या होता है, ब्रेड बना के लेके आओ, अंडा ब्रेड बनाओ अपना, ठीक है, तो अंडा ब्रेड बनाना इज नॉट एन इजी थिंग, ठीक है, उस बच्चे के लिए जो कभी किचन में भी नहीं गया होगा. सो व्हाट यू हैव टू डू, आपने अंडा ब्रेड बनाना है, यू आर लाइक एग और ब्रेड, यू विल टीच इट इन अ प्रॉपर सीक्वेंस के पहले क्या होगा, फिर क्या होगा, फिर क्या होगा, फिर क्या होगा, एंड देन लाइक फर्स्ट यू शुड हैव अ प्रॉपर एग और अ ब्रेड, and then you will go to the kitchen, and then of course you will turn on the stove, each and every step until the end, the packing and putting the material back in the fridge. These are all the steps you have to keep in mind. And on this front screen there is an example of the hand wash. Okay, instead of I am saying okay do this hand wash, hand wash, how does the child know what does hand wash mean? There are proper steps of hand wash. Okay, turn on the tap, wet your hands, take soap, rub hands, rinse, dry, each and every. Okay, these are all the steps. You have to make the flashcards of it, you have to make the visual guidelines for this, and steps are observable, measurable, in correct order, and written in simple language. Okay, in correct order, keep this in mind. And then we go for the chaining. In this task analysis, I already told you, we just make it. But in chaining, we are teaching also. Okay. First is this step, okay, we are gonna reinforce. Second is this step, we are gonna reinforce. The third, if the child can perform 5 steps, we are gonna reinforce. Okay, this is the thing that you have to keep in mind, that in chaining, you have to teach a kid that how he or she can perform a complex task by breaking it into smaller manageable steps and teaching those steps in a specific order. Okay, there are 3 types of chaining: forward chaining, backward chaining, total task chaining. Okay, in forward chaining, teach one step and then add next step. Best use child needs a strong start to the routine. ओके, फॉरवर्ड चेनिंग में क्या हो रहा है कि आप जो टास्क एनालिसिस में आपने स्टेप्स किए थे कि स्टेप 1 ये होगा, स्टेप 2 ये होगा, स्टेप 3, वी आर following that sequence. Okay, so that is a forward chaining, and we are gonna reinforce then every step. In backward chaining, the child is gonna perform all the tasks by him or herself, but he or she doesn't know the last 2 steps or last 3 steps or maybe the last 1 step. And we are gonna help the kid to perform that task and reinforce it. Okay, total task chaining means the child knows multiple steps. Okay, maybe the child knows the rubbing, maybe the child knows that oh we open tap, but the child doesn't know that we have to take the soap. Okay, we have to rinse or we have to dry. So child practice all steps each time with prompts as needed. Okay, at one the child is going to perform all steps, and whenever we think that the child needs our help, we are going to provide that one. Okay, choose the chain type based on child ability and routine demands. Record each step as independent, prompted, incorrect, or refused. Okay, this one was for you guys, that use the structure when preparing a program for a learning. Um, for example, trial training. You're gonna design one program. Your target is receptive identification of shapes: circle, square, triangle. Objective is when given 3 picture cards, the learner will touch the name shape independently. आपने S3 क्या देना है, ये आपका S3 है. मटेरियल कौन कौन सा यूज होगा, प्रॉम्प्ट प्लान कौन सा होगा, आपने कितना प्रॉम्प्ट देना है, देन द रेनफोर्समेंट, आप रेनफोर्समेंट कौन कौन सी दोगे, आपके रेनफोर्सर कौन कौन से होंगे, एंड देन व्हाट इज द मास्टर क्राइटेरिया, दिस इज द प्रॉपर डीटीटी प्रोग्राम. ओके, दीज आर द डाटा शीट्स यू आर गोना लाइक नोट इट डाउन दैट के हमने बच्चे को मॉडलिंग के थ्रू सर्कल टच करवाया था, बच्चे का पॉजिटिव रिस्पॉन्स था. ओके, बी इज prompted and Manas is incorrect, NR is no response. It means response कि टच सर्कल मॉडल में हम लोगों को प्रॉम्प्ट देना पड़ा था, जो रिस्पॉन्स था अब वो प्रॉम्प्ट देके करेक्ट रिस्पॉन्स था. माइनस में ये कि बच्चे ने टोटली इनकरेक्ट रिस्पॉन्स दिया है, जस्टर यहाँ पे था स्क्वायर में, बच्चे ने प्रॉम्प्ट देके करेक्ट रिस्पॉन्स किया है. ठीक है, और प्लस मीन्स इंडिपेंडेंटली करेक्ट. ओके, this is the thing that you, how are you gonna design one task analysis. Okay, these are the common teaching errors. If, for example, if the child is not responding, um, possible reasons क्या हो सकते हैं? Maybe your essay is not clear, maybe your reinforcer is weak, बच्चा उससे ट्रैक नहीं हो रहा, टास्क में भी बहुत ज्यादा हार्ड है, आप वो बहुत एक कॉम्प्लेक्स टास्क है, आपने मैनेजेबल स्मॉल स्टेप्स में उसको ब्रेक नहीं किया हुआ. व्हाट टू डू, सिंप्लीफाई एसडी, टेस्ट रेनफोर्सर, प्रॉम्प्ट अर्लियर. एंड देन द प्रॉब्लम, फॉर एग्जांपल मैनी एरर्स, बच्चा बहुत ज्यादा एरर्स शो कर रहा है, प्रॉम्प्ट टू वीक, मे बी आपने प्रॉम्प्ट बहुत ज्यादा कम दिया हो, डिस्ट्रक्टर्स बहुत ज्यादा हो जो उससे सिमिलर हो. यूज एररलेस टीचिंग एंड इजियर टारगेट्स, स्किल नॉट यूज आउटसाइड सेशन. आउटसाइड सेशन के बाहर, मतलब सेशन से बाहर वो बच्चा उस काम को करता ही नहीं है, तो आपने जनरलाइजेशन नहीं की हुई ना मे बी. तो यू हैव टू वर्क ऑन द एनईटी. चाइल्ड स्केप टेबल, बच्चा बार बार टेबल से बाहर भाग जाता है, स्केप उसका बहुत ज्यादा स्ट्रॉन्ग है. द टू मैनी ट्रायल्स, लो मोटिवेशन. ओके, शॉर्टर सेशंस, इन interspress easy task, reinforce cooperation, child depends on prompt not faded, therapist over helping. Okay, maybe the child is dependent on prompt because the therapist is over helping. You have not faded the prompt. Use time delay and fade systematically. Okay, this was a short notice for you guys. And thank you, everybody. Stay tuned for the next part. And teaching becomes powerful when it is clear, kind, database, and individualized. DDD builds accuracy, NET builds real life use, prompting supports success, fading builds independence. Okay, thank you, everybody. Allah Hafiz.